Here's your wrestling news for March 1st, 2023. And we're kicking off today with Monday Night Raw, as this week's show saw Becky Lynch and Lita capture the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships in a historic win for both wrestlers. For Lita, this marks her first title win since 2006, while this win makes Lynch the sixth Women's Triple Crown winner, and their win comes mere weeks before WrestleMania. Prior to this title change, it had been reported that WWE planned for Damage Control to defend the titles against Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler this April, and the latter half of this match is still reportedly the plan. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer said Rousey and Baszler are definitely chasing the women's tag titles, which has been the WWE's plan ever since the pair were put together months ago. If this title match, now against Lynch and Lita, is still the plan, then it's an interesting move, as there have been reports of a six-woman tag pitting Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus against Damage Control at WrestleMania 39. With 2 days of WrestleMania, there is the option that Lynch and Lita could compete on both nights, and we'll hopefully get a clearer picture of the plans soon enough. Whatever happens next, Lynch and Lita will go down in history as WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and for the man, she has an interesting record to her name. As pointed out on Twitter, Lynch's win this week makes her only the second superstar in WWE history to win tag titles with an already inducted WWE Hall of Famer. The only person to accomplish this feat is Ric Flair, who captured the World Tag Team titles with Roddy Piper in 2006, a year after Piper's induction, and just under 2 years before Flair would receive the nod. Ironically, Flair and Lynch were at odds for over a year over the trademark for the term "the man," but not only have those issues been resolved, but the two have another achievement in common. This weekend, Roman Reigns will make a very rare appearance at a WWE live event where he will defend the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Sami Zayn. This isn't the match originally announced for the March 4th house show, which was supposed to be headlined by Reigns and Solo Sikoa facing Owens and Zayn, so why has there been a change of plans? According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, the match was canceled due to creative reasons, as WWE believes having Zayn and Owens team up is far too soon. As we've seen on TV, the two may have helped each other out at the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber, but Owens has rejected Zayn's offer to team together to take down the Bloodline. It was added that booking Zayn in a rematch also makes more sense, as it would boost ticket sales given how invested the Canadian fans were in Montreal for the Elimination Chamber. This house show will take place in Toronto, where Zayn is expected to receive another thunderous response, and while he and Owens are expected to team soon enough, it won't be this weekend. It was nearly 2 months ago that Vince McMahon made his stunning return to WWE and is focused on finding a buyer for the promotion. Last month, it was reported that Comcast, considered by many to be the favorite to buy, were no longer interested, and now another name is seemingly out of the running. Given that they are the parent company of the UFC, it's hardly surprising that Endeavor has been listed as a potential buyer, but speaking on a recent earnings call, Endeavor CEO Ari Emanuel said that they're not interested in a purchase at this time. As it relates to WWE, it's an unbelievable product. Vince is he's created a great business. We've had a long-standing relationship with them over 2 decades. We're doing, as I indicated, the on-location business with them, the Endeavor streaming with them. You know, his business is really valuable, but we're not going to do anything as it relates to changing our leverage position right now. With Endeavor and Comcast out of the running, the list of potential buyers is growing shorter, and it means that there is a greater chance that the Saudi Arabia PIF will be the owners, as talent have feared. Vince McMahon is reportedly seeking $9 billion for WWE, so whoever does buy will need to have deep pockets, but that isn't likely to be Endeavor at this point in time. Since May, Naomi has been kept away from WWE TV after she and Sasha Banks walked out of an episode of Raw due to creative differences. While Banks has since joined New Japan as Mercedes Moné, Naomi has yet to compete in or out of WWE, with many speculating on her future with the promotion. It was after walking out that Naomi was suspended, but that may not be the only reason for the former SmackDown Women's Champion being off TV. During a virtual signing with Golden Ring Collectibles, Ariane Andrew, who teamed with Naomi in WWE as Cameron, said that her former partner is currently recovering from shoulder surgery. Andrew didn't go into the details as to when such an injury took place, but did say that she's incredibly proud of Naomi for all that she has accomplished. In May last year, Cameron suggested that Naomi had been manipulated into walking out, presumably by Sasha Banks, and while we don't know when, if ever, Naomi will be back on WWE TV, it isn't just her suspension keeping the glow away. As for Sasha Banks, we know that she is now part of New Japan and the reigning IWGP Women's Champion, but that is something WWE doesn't want their fans to know. Next week, John Cena will be making his return to WWE Raw to set up his WrestleMania program with Austin Theory, but WWE recently hyped John's return in a very unique way. In a video, WWE clearly tried to make fans believe that Sasha Banks was returning, even going as far as to say that next week's show in Boston, Banks' hometown, will see the return you've been banking on. The font for the video certainly looked like something you'd see in a Sasha Banks video, but after teasing the former superstar's return, WWE made it clear that Cena is the one who will be coming back. As to why WWE felt the need to briefly try and convince fans that Banks is returning, who's to say? But this bizarre video did not go unnoticed by the WWE Universe. As we previously reported, Zoey Stark recently competed for the SmackDown Women's Championship at a WWE Live event as part of a stacked Fatal 4-Way match. Facing off against Charlotte Flair, Liv Morgan, and Sonya Deville, some have said that this could be the start of Stark's main roster call-up, as WWE has used house shows in the past to test the waters of a call-up. While a main roster call-up could indeed be in her future, Stark has reservations about the move, and on Busted Open Radio said she is 1000% concerned about being lost in the shuffle on Raw or SmackDown. She added, "There's always some fear in my head where there's a little bit of insecurity where I'm scared of getting lost in that shuffle, especially now. Their roster, I feel, is pretty stacked." It's not hard to see why Stark would fear being lost in the shuffle, as for every Finn Balor or Kevin Owens, there's been a No Way Jose or Ascension who have struggled outside of NXT. Stark is a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, but her partner Io Shirai is now on the main roster as Io Sky. And do you think now is the right time for the move? Or should Stark be kept in NXT for the time being? Over to AEW, and this week will mark 6 months since fans last saw CM Punk, as his comments and actions after All Out have proven to have dire consequences for the former world champion. The only person suspended at the time to still be suspended, many believe that Punk's future with AEW is unclear, but his future in wrestling is anything but. As we previously reported, Mark Henry took to Busted Open Radio this week to say that contrary to popular belief, Punk isn't a cancer to wrestling, as the term has been used by Chris Jericho and Seth Rollins to describe the Chicago-made wrestler. When a fan on Instagram responded to Henry's quote, saying that AEW should keep CM Punk retired, this got a response from the man himself, who said that he will wrestle again, just to upset that fan. Punk added that this fan who wants him gone will still watch him no matter where he wrestles next, and it's no secret that Punk's arrival in AEW seriously improved the viewership. And we're ending today with NXT Roadblock, as next week's special edition of the Gold brand will feature Shawn Michaels. Ever since NXT Vengeance Day last month, Grayson Waller has been irate at Michaels, who he believes is holding him back, and tensions could boil over at Roadblock. In a tweet, Michaels said that against his better judgment, he has accepted Waller's invitation to be on the Australian's show, The Grayson Waller Effect, and promised to be as professional as I can be. Some have suggested that the Michaels-Waller storyline is setting up a match between the two down the line, and whether that's the case or not, the NXT head could very much get physical at NXT Roadblock.